better than anybody in Lucas. I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
My name is Naseem the Dream. I'm a 15-year-old amateur boxer, giving my views and opinions on everything boxing related. I'm here to give you guys consistent, reliable, unbiased commentary. Boxing is my passion, slaying trolls is my hobby. Hope you enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe. So, according to respected sports writer Dan Raphael, Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford is nearing completion. The fight can most likely happen on either November 12th or November 19th, most likely in Las Vegas, assuming it's finalized. I definitely think this is very good news to hear. This is the biggest fight in boxing, some people will deny it, but there really is no denying it. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford are the two best fighters in the world. Both of these fighters are extremely skilled and talented and have good resumes. I think that, either fighter can win this fight. There's been a lot of rumors where you're hearing that Errol Spence, he don't want to fight, or Terrence Crawford wants to fight. I'm just going with the assumption that both of these fighters want to fight, and there could be possibly networks messing it up. I definitely want to see this fight because, we've been wanting to see this fight since 2018, which is about 4 years now. These fighters need to fight each other to define their legacy. The welterweight division is really one of the most talented divisions in boxing. You have two of the most talented fighters in there. They should definitely just go ahead and make the fight. But to the fight itself, if it does happen, I'll be very happy to see it. I like Terrence Crawford as a fighter. I do think he does questionable business decisions, but, he's a very skilled and talented counterpuncher. He knocked out Sean Porter in his last fight. Errol Spence, he ruthlessly beat down in his last fight. I realistically think that Errol Spence will beat Terrence Crawford by a split decision and knock him down. I think that Terrence Crawford has a possibility to win that fight also if he can box from the outside. But I've seen how Terrence Crawford fights. He likes to be dogged out. I just think it's a bad decision against Errol Spence, who is very fundamentally solid. A lot of people like to say that Errol Spence is very one-dimensional, but I really think that's untrue. He's shown the ability to box and bang in the Mikey Garcia fights, the Danny Garcia fights, the ability to bang in the Kell Brook fight, the Jordan Ugas fight, especially in the Sean Porter fight. If you look at the Sean Porter fight closely, you can see that Errol Spence was blocking and slipping and pivoting out of the way. A lot of Sean Porter's punches and catching Sean Porter with a lot of left hooks, right hooks, body shots, okay? I think that Errol Spence Jr. does need to be careful, though, because Terrence Crawford is a great counterpuncher. He can shoot you with shots you often don't see coming. But most likely, I see how the first 6 rounds will be going, where Errol Spence will be winning those rounds. I think it'll be competitive. I think that Terrence Crawford is a very slow starter, and that's going to be a bad thing against Errol Spence, who is also somewhat of a slow starter. But the difference is that Errol Spence, he continues to come forward and throw combinations. It's just as the fight progresses, he gets him stronger and stronger and stronger. Then Errol Spence is going to give Terrence Crawford a lot of problems with his jab, his body work, his continued combinations, his fighting on the inside in the first 6 rounds. I think we're going to see Terrence Crawford get more aggressive, start to counterpunch, more catch Errol Spence Jr. with the left hand. He's coming in aggressively and, sometimes lunging with the shots, which Errol Spence has a tendency to do. Catch him with uppercuts, body shots, and move. And also to get aggressive with Errol Spence Jr. That's going to be Terrence Crawford's downfall. Like I told y'all, the Mean Machine fight, Mean Machine dropped Terrence Crawford. He hurt him badly multiple times. And that was due to Terrence Crawford deciding to stand there and slug it out with Mean Machine, a good puncher himself. The problem with Mean Machine is that he couldn't keep up the pace of Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford slowly started to break him down, catching him with shots like the left hand, the right hand, just beautifully outboxing him and starting to really break him down. And eventually got him out in the 9th round. That's not going to be the case for Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr., like I told you, has bone-crushing power. This man broke Jordan Ugas' eye socket, Kell Brook's eye socket, broke Ugas' ribs. He really has a lot of power behind those punches. And I think that he will drop Terrence Crawford when Terrence Crawford is caught being aggressive. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's not going to happen. Well, if Mean Machine was able to do it, that definitely leads me to believe that Errol Spence will be able to do it himself. I think that Errol Spence Jr., his weakness in this fight could possibly be, like I told y'all, the counterpunching. He has a tendency to sometimes get caught when he's trying to come in with punches. And Kell Brook exploited that to some extent. So does Jordan Ugas to some extent. But I think that Terrence Crawford will, switch stances in the later half of the fight, go to southpaw after finding out that the right-hand stance won't work for Errol Spence Jr. He's going to catch Errol Spence Jr. with counter shot and lead him to traps. He can definitely win this fight. But he comes out and fights usually and boxes and bangs at certain points. Like I told y'all, using the jab, going down to the body, throwing combinations, being aggressive, counterpunching Terrence Crawford at points throughout the fight. He can win this fight. But also Terrence Crawford can win this fight if he chooses to box smart, fight off the back foot, counterpunch Errol Spence Jr., use traps, throw the left hand, the right hand, switch stances, catch him with the uppercut. overhand right, those type of shots, he can definitely win this fight. But ultimately, I think that the dog and Terrence Crawford will ultimately lead to his downfall in this fight. But anything can happen. So I can see either fighter winning, Errol Spence Jr. by decision or Terrence Crawford by decision. But this fight definitely needs to happen. It's between two of the most talented fighters in boxing. A lot of people consider Errol Spence Jr. as the number 2 pound-for-pound fighter and Terrence Crawford as number 1. So this is a fight that definitely should be made. It's the equivalent of Thomas Hearns versus Sugar Ray Leonard or Hearns versus Hagler. It's that type of fight. These fighters have the skills to be all-time greats. And this fight will really determine who is the best welterweight of this generation, possibly this generation. All right. I definitely can't wait to see this fight. I really hope it happens. We really need this in the sport of boxing. There's a lot of tomfoolery, shuckery. We don't see a lot of the best fights being made. If this fight happens, it can inspire other fighters to stop ducking each other and put on the fights that we want to see as boxing. It can possibly bring boxing back to the golden age that it used to be. But I'm hoping this fight happens though. But to wrap this video up, this is Naseem the Dream. Rocking your tails and next heads to sleep. I'll holler at y'all with another one. Peace.